No matter how kind you are, German kids are kinder. I'm not sure if this is a common teaching technique in the US, which I would call dive or die. But to be honest, my son was a bit scared, so was I, and he definitely needed a bit of a pep talk after this experience. America's Got Germans! My name is Anni, and in my today's video I will share if I think my children's behavior has changed since we moved to the US and if they do something which is more American than German. Spoiler, they definitely have changed. The first thing I've noticed is that my 4-year-old son shows a lot more interest in sports like basketball and baseball. It's not that it doesn't exist basketball in Germany, but it's definitely not as common. Here, almost every playground has a basketball basket, and I see preschoolers, 4-year-old kids, bouncing and throwing baskets like professionals. And I definitely have not seen that a lot in Germany. Another thing which I think is so interesting is how American kids learn to swim. And this is very different to what I'm used to. In Germany, kids usually learn a kind of breaststroke first, but they keep the head out of water at all time. And that is also how grown-ups swim in Germany. So whenever you're on vacation and you see someone using this, I have to admit it looks a bit ridiculous. So if you see someone swimming like that, you can bet it's a German. As I think, I'm not aware, is there any other country who swims like that? I don't think so. If you know more, let me know. Alright, I was a bit curious to learn why we teach our kids swimming the way we do, and I found out that the military can actually be blamed for it, as they invented that style for orientation and also to hear commands. Now I'm wondering, why do we still teach our kids to swim that way? Instead of teaching them something which is easier to learn or maybe faster to swim with? I have no clue. I think one advantage is that you can keep your head out of water, which is easier to breathe. But I also think that the frog legs and the arm movements might be a bit more tricky to learn. Anyways, American kids learn a front crawl first. And not only that, they have the head underwater. And honestly, when I took my kid to his first swim class, and to be clear, he doesn't know how to swim, that's why we signed him up, the teacher told him just to jump in and to swim back on his own using his kicks. Look at this.
Good. Nice shot. Turn around. Turn around. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Stop turning around towards me. Nope. Leonard. Wall. Right there. There you go.
I'm not sure if this is a common teaching technique in the US, which I would call dive or die. But to be honest, my son was a bit scared, so was I, and he definitely needed a bit of a pep talk after this experience, right? One thing I would like to add, which I actually liked about the swim class, was that the teacher taught them that they always have to ask for permission from an adult before they enter the water. And I think this is a very good advice, and that's also why I share it with you, as we will definitely keep on teaching our kids that, as I really think this can help to keep them safe. No matter how kind you are, German kids are kinder. Well, some of you might have already noticed that this was actually a wordplay, as children or kids means Kinder in German. But I have met Americans that told me that they believe German kids are very kind or very polite. So I was thinking about it, but before I will share my thoughts, a little disclaimer. Of course, everyone is different and so is the parenting style. So when I talk about the American or the German, it doesn't mean that we are all the same. And if you have a different opinion, feel free to leave me a comment. I would love that. By the way, if you haven't subscribed or liked my video, do it now. All right, now let's get started. So what I have observed is that I actually think that American parents and teachers focus a lot more on being kind. For instance, they have a very cute routine at my kids' school, which is that they have to ask each other in the morning how they are doing to make sure that everyone is okay. Isn't that super kind? I think it is. And I also observed that my kids using a lot more thank you and please and also excuse me since we moved here. So my son will start a conversation with a grown-up with excuse me, or in German Entschuldigung, and I haven't heard him doing that a lot in Germany, or so we tried to teach him that. But yeah, it definitely changed since we moved here, and this is one of his favorite songs.
Please, no thank you. Please, no thank you. Please, no thank you. Please, 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 no thank you. Please, no thank you. Please, no thank you. Please, 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 no thank you.
My kids also use no thank you a lot more in the sense of when they don't like something. For instance, when they get pushed, they would say no thank you, while in German, kids usually say hör auf, which can be translated into stop it. I also hear stop it here, but not as often as I hear no thank you. So I think it's interesting that the language itself is kinder than the German language, or the expressions they use is kinder. The words they choose are kinder. Anyways, I also noticed that when someone is falling at a playground, usually another kid will run up to him and ask him if he's okay. And my kids are also doing that in German now. So when one of them falls, the other one would ask, bist du okay? And then the kid says, the second one says, ich bin okay, danke, which I think is very cute and very caring, right? Now you wonder if German kids don't care. Are they rude? What do they do? Well, in general, to explain it a little bit more, I would like to mention how the parenting style is different. So, when you picture kids at a playground, usually in Germany, the parents are on the side talking to each other, sometimes enjoying a beer. I know it sounds weird, but that's what it is in Germany. No one would think anything about it. So the parents stay together, they have a conversation, and the kids play. So let's say a kid runs up, or my son would run up to me and telling me that someone took away his toy. I would encourage him to go back by himself and talk to that kid, ask him if he can have it back, and tell him that he doesn't like it. The other way around, if he really wants to have a toy, I would encourage him to go back and negotiate, or wait till the kid is done. But I would not interfere right away, so I would more encourage him to find a solution by himself. Of course, if kids are pulling each other's hair, German parents will step in, but they will not be right there to help them. It's not meant to be confrontational or to teach them to have a confrontation. It's more to help them to stand up for themselves and to find a solution by themselves, you know. Here, if a kid is just close to something that belongs to another kid, the mom will be right there, tell them to be kind, to say please and thank you, just a lot closer, you know, to the child. It's just different. I'm not saying that one style or the other is better. It's just what I observed in general. And again, there are also parents in Germany who are right there, and I also see very relaxed parents here who are not close to the kids all the time. So, but it's just the overall impression I have, right? To wrap it up, I actually think that American kids are kinder in the way they talk to each other, in the way they talk to grown-ups, but also how they watch out for each other and care for each other. So I think that American parents and teachers doing a great job teaching those kind of social interactions, and I actually really like that. Well, when you live in another country, of course, you try new food. And one of my kids' new favorite is mac and cheese, which is short for macaroni and cheese. It's basically pasta, macaroni with cheese sauce. Most commonly, it's cheddar. It's not very healthy, and when we do it at home, we try to sneak in a few vegetables like broccoli. But yeah, my kids just love it. They also ate a lot more burger and hot dogs, and I know it sounds like a cliche, but whenever we go to a restaurant to eat out, I mean, this is how a kids menu look like. And I'm not kidding that all restaurants have this kid menu. Wherever you go, they don't serve anything else. And this is actually what I don't like so much, because in Germany, usually what you do, you would just order a smaller size of the adult portion for your kids. And that way they also get exposed to different kind of food and they try out more things. While here, Americans just assume that kids just like fries, burgers and hot dogs, and yeah, it's not the most healthy thing. In Germany, you can also order in some restaurants, which I really like, is a Räuberteller, which literally translates into rubber plate, and it means that your kid gets an empty plate and he can basically steal food from the parents. So I really like that. Okay, with that being said, it's the end of my today's video. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment. Anyways, thanks for watching and auf Wiedersehen.